You're listening to the Fantasy Football Podcast with Charles Barr and John Chapman.
Here we go. Can you believe it? It is the playoffs and it is championship week in my league. And guess what, folks? Guess what?
Ooh, it's happening. It's happening.
Host Chuck B and John Chapman are meeting in the finals in the championship. It's mano a mano. And do you think that this just happened just because? Is this just luck that both of us are in the playoffs in every single league combined right now? Myself and John are 9-0, right? Is that correct?
Well, so there's one league that I did not make the playoffs. I lost on a tiebreaker, but I'm in a lot of leagues. But I was 5-0 this week. And in the playoffs, if you count first-round buys, it was a wonderful week. And things are running smoothly. Now, understand this. It got super lucky in a lot of leagues. Kenyon Drake bailed me out twice. I definitely should have lost in 2 leagues. One against your father, which was so wonderful because he talked trash earlier in the year. And I screenshotted that biz and sent it back to him. And it made me feel very, very good.
Sucker.
Very, very good.
Very good. So, hey, man, you get there, how you get there. I mean, is it luck, though, that you know that Damon Williams is injured and you're starting a guy who you know is going to get probably, 18 to 20 carries? I don't know if that's luck, John. I think that we do our homework and we end up where we're supposed to be. All right? I'm just going to –
I'll take it.
I'm going to not humble brag. I'm just going to brag.
It was weird. Like, I was making the tweet and I posted a picture of all my fantasy teams and that they won and put that out there. And whenever I was doing it, I was like, man, this is a total douchebag move. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. I am a douchebag.
Yeah.
Sinned.
Yeah, no, you just got to be true to who you are.
That's what I am. My mom's proud.
So, man, where do you want to start with this? Because I'm so anxious about our championship. Or do we just want to get into the saddest news of all time?
So, okay, this is going to be a roller coaster ride, people. So just prepare for that. Let's go through our news and notes for the league, and then we'll break down kind of some people you can plug in to help out with the injuries. And then we're just going to go all in on our matchup and crazy bets. We're going to go through all the bets that we've made through the year and pay up on some of those. And we also are going to make the craziest bet ever. It's a cold bet. That's a spoiler alert. It's going to be a cold one. And also, hold on just a sec before we get started because I missed out on one of these. Charles Barr, you sexy son of a bee. Yeah. You made the bet that Mike Williams would play in more than 6 games this year. And sure enough, he didn't start, sorry. He played in a 7th game this year, and the bet was you have to be referred to as the King of the North. And so that's happening for the rest of this episode. So, King of the North, let's get started with the news and notes from around the league.
I didn't know how that was going to feel until you said it. We talked about it. But as soon as you said it, I kind of got goosebumps. And I ain't going to lie. It feels real good. Okay. All right, man. So sad news. Let me just preface this real quick. Oh. In my opinion, even though I'm an Eagles fan and the news I'm about to announce breaks my heart, to me, this is the greatest football season that I've experienced in a really, really long time. The matchups, all the things, it's been beautiful. There's been a ton of injuries this year, but I think that's because defenses are getting better. But, man, the first thing we're going to announce is Carson Wentz, my man, the ACL. Ugh.
Yeah, it was bad. And, like, there's 2 different types of ACL injuries. There's the Robert Griffin, RG3, one where he's juking, and there's the non-contact injury, which is awful. Those are the worst kind. And then there's this kind. I'd say the Tom Brady idea, where you just get hit and your knee goes the wrong way. Now, let me just say this. Whenever you saw him stand up, his knee buckled. I sent you the video, and I felt bad for it. It was rough. You could see that it was gone. He stayed in the game for 4 more plays and threw a touchdown after this happened.
Yeah. No, there's a lot to love about him.
He's a man. He is a madman.
Yes, so props to you, Wentz. Love you. Get better. We're best friends. So moving on. Somebody's back. They call him Aaron.
Oh man, yeah. He's been, wanting to get back in, got completely cleared. He is the starter, and they're still in playoff contention. Now, they've got a ways to go. They got to make up some room for sure, but that's the idea. He is back. They're 7-6. They're basically 2 games out of the playoffs, so if they win 2 of their last 3, they definitely got a shot. Probably will not be able to win their division with 10-3 Minnesota Vikings, but they can make that playoff game. So, what do we expect from Aaron Rodgers coming forward? How do you think he is going to perform? He's been out for a while. Where do you put him quarterback-wise?
Obviously he's going to be a top 12 quarterback this week. There's no doubt in that. He's going to pass on the Carolina Panthers. I also think, though, that their defensive line is getting there pretty quick these days, even though they don't have any major names on that line. But they're getting there quick. But Aaron Rodgers is known for getting the ball out of his hand fairly quick. But I do think that we could see some struggles. He's not going to have elite numbers. I do not see Aaron Rodgers finishing inside the top 5 this week.
Ooh, I do. I got him as my number 4 QB. If you look at the points that Carolina defense, they're stout against the run, but not versus the pass. They got a tough front 7, or really front 6 is kind of usually how they do it, and they split out Shaq. But I think he's going to be all right because that is a stable offense. If you look what Brett Hundley's been able to do, they can run the ball and they can throw the ball. And I think that the wide receiver core there has actually improved. I think Davante Adams, man, he's having a beast year. He's the number 8 wide receiver in fantasy on the year right now. He's been better with Brett Hundley. And
to me, he's just a more athletic, agile, but not stronger Dez. Like, he's kind of everything that Dez is supposed to be. Goes and rips the ball down. But, Dez put it on this week. He did a good job. But if I had to take a receiver right now based on how they're playing, I'm taking Davante Adams.
And what's crazy is Davante Adams is only 25 years old right now. And this is the last year of his rookie deal.
Yeah.
So, man, we'll see. There's a possibility. I'm hoping he goes the Niners' way, but I'm sure that they will keep him. But we'll see what happens.
I don't like their chances to keep him, but that's for another time. Podcast. All right, so next up, thank God, because I got him in like 2 leagues out of my 4. Alvin Kamara, welcome back, good sir.
He looks so good. He looked so good in the first series. He had 3 catches for like 40-something yards, then got his concussion, sat out last week, and he's back. He's good to go. He got cleared today, and, man, couldn't have been in better timing. Because now the sad thing is, if you had him, he was the number 1 player that made fantasy rosters for the playoffs. He was the number 1 guy. And so, if you had him on your roster, you basically made the playoffs. It was 77% of playoff rosters had him on the thing.
Very nice.
There was an ESPN article that was wonderful. But anyway, he got you there. You can't be too upset. Hopefully you are still playing, and if you are, man, just be happy because he is going to be dominant.
Yeah. Let me just ask you, got a curveball for you real quick. Ready? Here we go. I say a lot of times, you can look at a rookie running back and you can kind of give him a comparison. Kamara gives me a problem. I can look at a Fournette and make a comparison. I can look at a Kareem Hunt and make a comparison. I have a tough time with Kamara because he moves so different. Yeah,
he does. That's a good. He's basically Anquan Boldin in Antonio Brown's body. He can move and he's great. And probably the closest comparison to him is another rookie running back. And I would say the cat for Kansas City, Kareem Hunt. Both of them, they are top. Kareem Hunt has caused the most missed tackles in the entire NFL this year, and it's not even close. And then Kareem Hunt is 3rd. So those 2 guys, they create on their own. And I'll say this, props to Kareem Hunt. He finally showed back up. There's podcasts and articles and people saying, I'm sitting Kareem Hunt. And I'm just sitting there like, you're out of your freaking mind.
Yeah.
The people that think that Kareem Hunt had a bad year or that he's fallen off, you're just not looking at the stats. Now, did he fall off from his astronomical start where he was putting up 40-point, 30-point games? Yeah. He's only had 1 game this entire year under 9 fantasy points.
Right.
That's unreal.
And real quick just a reminder, okay, because you're using every year, even if you lost, to kind of inform your practice every year. And I saw a lot of people who got Kareem Hunt sit on their hands because on the waiver wire because they thought he was just going to be productive and kill it every week, and that's not the NFL, folks.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Here's the thing: he still leads the entire NFL or he's second in rushing. Like that's the thing. Like this guy is special. And he has been special. He's averaged over 4.5 yards per carry for almost the entire thing. Even in the games where he wasn't doing well, it's because they went away from him. Like it's not like he's been bad. But as of right now, he's 59 yards behind Le'Veon Bell for the rushing title. Like that's unreal. And having said that, he has 70 less carries than Le'Veon Bell. So his average is way over Le'Veon Bell's average. I mean, the guy's he's a freak, and he was wonderful, and I think he's going to be great this year again. So he's playing against the Chargers, which is a very, very tough defense, but they do give up a lot of yards versus running backs. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great game.
All right, that was a lot of love for Kamara. How about McCown? Broken hand.
Man, did you watch his press conference?
No, I didn't.
Dang. It was intense. He got up there, was emotional, cried. The dude's 38 years old. Like, you don't realize how many teams he's played for and what this guy's put out there. And to win with the Jets is unreal. But he's done, and I think you totally lose stock in almost every single Jet. Like, literally, I would not start any Jet right now. There's just too much volatility. Now, I know that Bryce Petty is the quarterback, and last time, this is where Robbie Anderson got his start, was when Petty was the starter, because he just kept freaking throwing bombs to him. But, again, I'm not starting him. He's banged up, Robbie Anderson. I'm staying away from every single Jet, and I just really don't think there's anything there that's going to be beneficial this week. So, all Jets, bench them. You probably, if you're in the playoffs, you probably weren't starting them anyway.
Right. Joe Mixon is still not okay, and not like in the way where like he punches a girl, but like in a different kind of way.
Well said. He was the receiver of head damage, and he's still not okay. So you just got to kind of play with that and see, man, what does that look like moving forward? If you have Giovanni Bernard, and you started him last week, which I did in daily fantasy, and man, I ain't gonna lie, made a lot of money last week. It was a great week. So keep Giovanni Bernard, but understand this: they got a tough matchup. No matter if Joe Mixon comes back or not, they are at Minnesota. So these are guys I don't even want to mess with unless I am desperate.
Yeah. All right, Robert Woods is back versus Seattle.
What this does is you're gonna put stock up for your quarterback Goff for sure, but I'm not starting Robert Woods. They do not have a decent corner on that team, so this is not the Seattle of old, and there's a possibility both their middle linebackers are going to be out as well.
Bobby Wagner?
Yeah, Bobby Wagner might not play. So like you have to take everything you understand about Seattle's defense and throw this out. So especially after they got beat last week, and Seattle's a dirty, crappy franchise with a soulless coach, and so you just got to keep all that kind of stuff in play there.
And I believe, I could be wrong here, I know that in the Rams-Eagles game that two of the corners for the Rams went down.
Yes. So that's going to be that's not going to be a defensive battle. It's going to be one of those 37-33 games.
And here I'll make a prediction really quickly.
Make a predict.
I'm going to predict, okay? And the prediction isn't about score. The prediction is about something I've been saying about the style of play that Russell Wilson has. If you're going to go ahead and say that, Big Ben, Cam, and Carson Wentz are more prone to injury because of their physical play, I'm going to say the same thing about Russell Wilson. I could see, if it's going to be a scoring fest, I could see an injury, not to him, or maybe to him, but I just don't believe in the longevity and the type of offense that the Seattle's pushing right now. So that's the prediction.
It's intense, man. So you're thinking they're going to have a letdown offensively?
No. I'm saying that they're going to incur some injuries, I think, for the season because guys are getting rolled up on constantly with the way this offensive line protection breaks down. There's always awkward falling and receivers diving. It's just a real awkward freakish way to kind of play offense. Don't know about the longevity deep into the playoffs.
I feel you there. I mean, they're definitely gambling right now. Now, fantasy-wise, you start them all this week. This is a start every single player. Russell Wilson's the number one quarterback in fantasy. It's not even close. You have to go all the way back to week 5, which was at the Rams, the last time he finished less than 20 points fantasy-wise. And I'm telling you right now, you see what he did against the Jaguars and the Eagles in back-to-back weeks. He's a must-start. Absolute must-start. So, play him.
Kenyon Drake?
Dang. Oh, my gosh. This guy is for real.
You think so?
I loved him out at Alabama. And whenever he came out, he went in the 3rd round, and he was kind of that change-of-pace guy. And I really thought they should have played him a lot more last year. And whenever they sent Ajayi away, and then Williams gets hurt, this guy has created yards. There has been 2 plays in each game where they did a run gap blitz with an unblocked defender coming straight at him that didn't put a hand on him. And if you look at his 3 biggest plays over the last 2 weeks, they were all 100% created by him. He's special. He's a special kid, man. And you just got to keep rolling with this guy. He is going to be winning championships. So, like, for me, I drafted David Johnson in almost all my leagues. He gets injured. Kenyon Drake is fulfilling those exact same roles right now. He is absolutely dominant. If you look at his last 2 games, he's put up 23 and 25 points back-to-back, over 100 yards rushing in back-to-back games. And that was at versus Denver, which has a very good run defense, then New England, which is crappy. But guess who he's got this week? The number 1 defense that gives up the most rushing yards in the entire NFL at Buffalo. Oh, man. You got to be so happy to have this.
Well, we'll see, because I want to get to a segment about weather later. But anywho.
Even if it's snowy weather, you want the running back in that situation. Look what freaking LaShawn did last week.
Yeah, it took a while for LaShawn to do that, and LaShawn is a special back.
Look at Frank Gore playing against him. He had 36 carries, but still rushed for over 100 yards.
Yeah,
you want the running back in those situations.
I hear you. I'm just saying I don't know about it being a sure thing because Frank Gore and LaShawn are reliable backs who can figure it out.
Right.
That's okay. I just saying that. Okay.
All right.
I think we should move quickly through the waiver wire because only a few people need it.
Well, yeah, it's not even a waiver wire. It's basically if you need help or something bad happens, and basically this Blake Bortles is out there. He's owned in 21% of leagues. That's it. 18 points for Seattle. 2 20-point games before that. Get him in there. Joe Flacco. He's got the best matchups of any quarterback left. He plays at Cleveland, then at Indianapolis Colts. So both those are top 3 matchups as far as most points given up. And their offense is clicking. Running back-wise, Theo Riddick, holy freaking cow. Go get that guy, go get that guy, go get that guy. He should be started in all leagues, and I mean all leagues, because Amir Abdullah was a healthy scratch, and that offense is rolling. Kerwin Williams is the guy in Arizona. Adrian Peterson is not coming back this week. And again, he's put up back-to-back weeks where he rushed for over 90 yards. He's getting a lot of volume. I don't believe in his talent, but the volume in the offense is there. D.D. Westbrook, it was receiver. Holy freaking cow. 5 catches in 3 straight games. He has the Texans and the 49ers. Amazing schedule. Go get that guy. And then Mike Wallace. He is the man there. Again, these are guys where if you have a huge question, throw the names out. It's not about names right now. It's all about who is going to win you games. And these are some of those options.
I have a question for you. This is a curveball. Ready?
Curveball.
There are some folks out there who, not in any league that I'm in, fortunately, but that friends helping friends, dropping players once they're out of the playoffs for their friends. First of all, tell me your feelings on that, and then tell me, too, any ideas for a punishment for a person like that.
Great question. And I'm glad you throw it a curveball because you get to hopefully hear my passion here. Any move that you make in fantasy that does not directly benefit your team, okay? Any move that you make the core rationale behind it has to be this benefits my team to win, then you're a damn cheater, okay? And one, if anybody ever does that in my leagues, I completely kick them out, and I do not want to be associated with that human being. You're a damn cheater. And not only are you cheating in fantasy football for a friend, whatever, you're ruining the entire league because everybody has busted their butt and the people that are there have earned it. So let's say, oh, well, I'm not in the playoffs, so I'm just going to drop Kareem Hunt or I'm going to drop Antonio Brown, so on and so forth. You are a huge piece of turd. And one, this is why you have a commish. The commish goes in and reverses those things. You kick that person out and you lock that team. And I love it whenever a team is no longer in the playoffs or in a loser playoff system. You lock those rosters so this stuff cannot happen. So this is where the commish comes in, and you do not allow this situation to take place. Again, anything that you do that does not benefit your team is cheating. That's the easiest way to describe it. So if you see something like this happening in your league, then you say, did this benefit that player's team? If it did not, then you reverse it. Now, bad trades is another thing, which there should be no trading now anyway.
Right.
People are idiots, but people are idiots. So anyway, hopefully that helps.
Just real quick, here's another idiot thing I like to complain about.
Oh, yeah.
In my brother-in-law's league, right? It's always your brother-in-law. Ugh. Anywho, my brother-in-law's league, all right? He's got a waiver wire acquisition limit. Listen, folks, to me, that it's not pure fantasy football at that point, man. We are enterprises. We are franchises, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna stop the Patriots from making a transaction. It doesn't make sense. You're decreasing the user. The users in your league from actually participating. It's dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. So if you're going to do one, all these things need to be hashed out beforehand. But if you have that and you want to encourage people not making so many transactions, I don't know why you would, put a dollar amount on it. So say you get 50 free transactions. After that, it's $1 per transaction, and then that goes to the winner. That's fine, but just capping it there's no reason to do that. Also, a bone to pick with you. This is going your way. So
what up?
In the league, Charles and I are playing against each other.
Yeah.
He does not have it where the waiver wire resets every single week. So when the week concludes on Monday night and it's over, it starts over Tuesday. He doesn't have it where it resets. So if I pick up somebody Sunday during the games, right? Let's say, oh man, somebody's sick, and I pick somebody up, that stays with me for the following week. So instead of me getting my waiver wire, like you are the 1 seed, I was the 6th seed, you got your waiver wire before me this week, and that was shady. I know you didn't do it on purpose. It just was a settings flaw because ESPN is trash whenever they set up their leagues on default.
I'm going to say, number one, ignorance on my part, so I have to plead guilty.
I didn't see it beforehand either, so it's on both of us.
And the other thing is, I'm really tempted to move to Yahoo. I am.
NFL's my favorite, man. NFL for redraft leagues, and then Flea Flicker or My Fantasy League for Dynasty, and probably auction leagues. I would also say NFL. I just enjoy their game face, and their game scoring system I think is above all others.
I'm in a Yahoo league. I actually really like it too.
All right.
All right. So I just kind of wanted to bring up weather. We saw how weather played a part in Buffalo's game. Man, did it kill, Charles Clay.
That
and
was
a lot of these...
so funny, man. It was such a funny game.
It was a funny game, and I do enjoy those games actually. But we got some potential weather coming up this weekend. So
yes,
the Buffalo game actually should be impacted again by weather to some degree. Washington,
Miami at Buffalo, and it's an early game. That's why. Also, real quick, as you talk about weather, understand there are 2 Saturday games this week. You have Chicago at Detroit. That's a 1:30 Pacific time day game, and then you have Los Angeles Chargers at Kansas City Chiefs. That could be a weather game as well, and that's a night Saturday game, and I think that's the game of the week. So excited about that game. That's going to be a huge game.
Arizona at Washington, potentially some weather impacting that. God, that would drive Kirk Cousins' value down.
Yes, it would. Man, you probably should have picked up Nick Foles, man. I don't know why you didn't think of that.
No, I have a reason for that. We'll talk about that.
All right.
I intentionally stayed away from him.
There's also a game at New York, the Giants, Philly at the Giants. At Seattle. At Pittsburgh. There's lots of games that have an opportunity because of weather, as you're saying. Big time.
Just something to think about. All right, man. Here we go. Let's do this. All right. So what John and I are about to do, we're about to kind of go through our championship finale here that we're facing each other. And first of all, it makes my stomach queasy to even engage in this.
So. I'm so excited. And so what we're going to do, and this is huge because this will kind of give you a perspective of not only the teams that are in the roster, but just some player rankings and how we feel about them. Now let's tell them about what's on the line, because I think that this bet is by far the best and worst bet we have yet. And after we get through all this, we're going to go through and update our bets. There's a lot of winners that we can pronounce and a lot of punishments. King of the North. Sorry, King of the North.
Thank you.
I got to throw that out there. Not Charles, King of the North.
10 more times, please.
Okay. Now, here is the bet. The loser of this game. Oh, man, it's going to be a cold one. But you're King of the North. Is it King of or King in?
King of. Dude.
King
I
of
own
the North.
That. Yeah.
The loser. I don't even want to say this. There's a game called Getting Iced, which is basically where you hide Smirnoff Ice in random places, and when somebody comes across it, if you see it, you have to chug it. Well, we're going to do that on steroids. The loser of our game in our fantasy championship, which in one of the leagues it ends a week early, so this is the championship game here. The loser has to drink an entire 6-pack of Smirnoff Ice in one setting.
Yeah, sitting.
Oh, now, having said that, in order to make sure that this happens, we are going to broadcast this live. I feel like we should be sponsored by Smirnoff Ice.
Sponsored by Smirnoff Ice.
Hashtag life goals. But, so what we're going to do is we are actually going to video this on YouTube live, and you can turn in for however long it takes. But the drink has to stay in front of the camera. Now, we can obviously get up and go pee and come back because you're going to got to get that stuff out of your system. It's poison. No. I recommend eating first, Charles. I want to make sure that you eat a lot beforehand because you need to do that.
You got to pee where you are. You just got to bring a bucket.
Happening.
No, I mean, the camera can't see you.
No, that's not happening. I'm going to get up and go pee.
All right.
I'm a private peer, man. It's kind of a weird thing.
I'll hit mute and I'll pee right there and stare right into the camera.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I think that's like trade laws or something.
I'll be drunk enough.
So, now that you guys know that's what's up, then we'll post it on the site and maybe do like a speed up, whatever. But just think about how this is going to be because it's going to be about 45 minutes, if not longer. This is going to be so great. So
terrible.
Great. All right.
Okay, so... yeah, we're going to break down each other's teams. And...
you first. I want you to break down my team because I feel pretty good about my team.
Well, you told me, though, you're not starting Blake Bortles, so you don't have your starting squad in. So he's going to be starting Aaron Rodgers.
That's right. Picked him up last week. We told you to do it just on the chance, and he's a top 5 play. Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to be so great.
Do I love Aaron Rodgers? Again, like I said, he's going to fall outside the top 5 for me.
Would you rather me start Blake Bortles or Aaron Rodgers?
No, right. You're going with the right play. Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm just talking about where he's going to finish. He's facing an elite defense that could also be facing some weather. It's in Carolina.
I don't think they're elite, man. They give up the 22nd most points to fantasy quarterbacks.
Here's what I mean for Carolina versus Green Bay. Green Bay is deficient. Before Aaron Rodgers left, we were already seeing issues with Green Bay. Like you said, Carolina is good against the run. Really good against the run. But the Green Bay is not a balanced team. They've never shown that underneath until Hundley came around. And that's just not who Aaron Rodgers is. I think that a team that's really effective against the run, I think that that's just going to be a problem for Aaron Rodgers with the pass rush And this is an elite team that's gonna
All
guard the middle of that field very well. Luke Kuechly, man,
he's a beast. I give it to him. He is an absolute beast.
Anywho, whatever. Maybe I'm wishing. Le'Veon Bell versus New England. Well, that's just awful. Okay, let's move on. He's gonna outscore my whole team. Maybe. Goodness gracious, it's gonna be so bad.
I love the way this feels right now. Keep going though. This is wonderful.
Jamal Williams versus Carolina. I like my chances there. Again, one of the it's King in the North, by the way. It just came to me.
You're the King in the North.
King in the North. I don't know why I said of the North. I'm much smarter than that. Okay, so Jamal Williams, I like my chances there against Carolina. Luke Kuechly, he's gonna do work. Dez Bryant, I don't know. Is he going to show up against Oakland?
Who knows,
Maybe.
Man?
Maybe.
Oakland's terrible. Their defense is awful. All I can say is back-to-back weeks, Dez has scored a touchdown, so I'm just trying to roll with that. So we'll see how that goes.
Second to Antonio Brown, the football god, Keenan Allen has looked pretty damn good, but everybody's being overshadowed by AB right now. This is the most ridiculous play I've seen from a wide receiver in a very long time. It's
4 straight games over 100 yards. First, I think we talked about it last week, he's the first receiver in NFL history, now this streak ended last week, to have 10 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown in 3 straight games. They sent his jersey to Canton, and it's going to be kept in the Hall of Fame up there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, so you got Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry here.
True story.
I don't really like that because I don't think that I don't know, that just doesn't play well for me. Because one of those guys is going to score and one of those guys is not going to score, most likely.
You're right.
So I don't love it.
But see, I have Cameron Brate. That's my other tight end. I'm not going to play him over. Yeah. I'm not going to do that.
You've got Drake at Buffalo, and obviously that's a great matchup based on Buffalo.
I think he might outscore Le'Veon Bell this week. I think he might.
I don't think so. Le'Veon's going to eat so much. Okay, here's the only thing. Buffalo, it's no disrespect to their run defense. They're injured. A healthy
Well, when they traded Marcel Darius, it's been, oh my gosh. They were great before that. And since they've traded him away, these are the points that they have given up to the running back. 21 points, 30 points, a 60-point game against New Orleans, where that's where both Ingram and Kamara went off. 26 points, 34 points, and 18 points.
Yikes.
So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, you got the positive there for sure. All right, Baltimore defense at Cleveland. So here's what I'll say. Am I super confident that Baltimore's not going to get scored on? I'm not, because they're not a great pass defense.
No, they're going to score, but Deshaun Kaiser, he just loves to give the ball away. So that is definitely going to happen. Sacks and interceptions are going to happen.
Okay, he's going to love giving the ball away to Josh Gordon. That's who he's going to give the ball away.
Oh, and I think they'll score, but I'm just saying turnovers are coming your way, my friend.
Roll the dice on Josh Gordon, because God knows he's got 20 pounds of weed in his trunk right now.
I forgot about that. It's so great.
All right. What do they call him? Legatron?
Legatron, baby.
At kicker. Man, it is hard to not start this guy given how many points that this team scores. But with all the missing people on the defense of Seattle, gosh, it's got him projected at 10. I would say he's going to have more than 10.
Yeah.
All right, that's John's squad. Here's how I feel about it. Once John goes through my team, I feel that his team definitely has the edge.
But you're the 1 seed, man. You're 9-2, and you have a tie. That's another problem I have with your league.
Yeah, but I had Carson Wentz. Wentz, who was giving me 30 points a week. So, Kirk Cousins on deck. So go ahead, man.
Here we go. This is the King in the North, and it is the King in the North because the King in the North is not supposed to go south. That's when bad things happen. So, Kirk Cousins at quarterback, which, man, he has struggled lately. He was playing great for a long time, and the last 3 games he has not passed 15 fantasy points. And he's got Arizona. Now, Arizona, you can definitely throw on them, but definitely not a give-me game. Now, running back, you got Melvin Gordon. man, how do you feel about Melvin Gordon? Who the hell knows? He is back and forth. He's got games of 2, 3, and 3 fantasy points this season. But whenever he goes off, he goes off. So that he is a boom-bust play to the largest degree. Now you got Sexy Rexy, good old Rex Burkhead. He's been unstoppable, and I think that is a great play against Pittsburgh. I really do think that's going to be the first one to 50 wins that game, so that is a great play. Now, probably the worst play on your entire team, and you probably picked this guy in the first round.
No.
Mike Evans. Holy freaking cow. You did pick him in the first round.
I did not pick him in the first round. Melvin Gordon in the first round.
Oh, okay, that was decent. Mike Evans, I think, is probably one of the biggest busts of the entire year. He has not broken 10 fantasy points. Uh-oh, what's going on? Do you hear that, fantasy? That is an alarm. You know what we need? Is some Smirnoff Ice to cool it down. And I think it's coming your way.
By Smirnoff Ice.
Like,
really.
Seriously? Like, are you going into dialysis right now? Is that what's happening? Are you in dialysis? Do we still have Charles Barr?
Oh my God.
This is so great. Now, let's keep going with Mike Evans. He is terrible. Since week 7, he has not passed 10 fantasy points. And who's he get this week? Oh, Atlanta. Like, that's the thing. It's not going to go well. The last time he played Atlanta, he got 7 points fantasy-wise. Golden Tate, I think, is a great play. He is exceptional. Zach Ertz, he is cleared, and he's going to be able to play. He got cleared today, but who knows? You got Nick Foles in there at quarterback. Now, I will say this. The matchup is perfect. So, he's at New York Giants, and they have given up touchdowns in every single game to the tight end except for 3. So, that is a great play. Carlos Hyde at Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is terrible, but they are amazing against the run. So I don't think that's too great of a play. You got the Eagles' defense against the Giants. Holy freaking cow, I think that's amazing. And Will Lutz, the kicker, against the Jets. So, I love your team, and I think it's solid. However, I think I have you beat on 4 positions, and then a couple pushes. I don't think you're going to win, man. I'm just going to be honest with you.
It's going to be tough, and my roster's not final. So just so you know, and I mean, here's the deal. Just so you guys out there know, I got some people who have some explosive scoring power.
You got Devin Funchess, Samaje Perine on the bench, Josh Gordon. You gonna put in Gordon?
He may make.
I would take him over Mike Evans. I would not start Mike Evans if I was you. But hey, you do you, bro. You do. Well,
I was actually thinking about using something against you. There's a cool guy out of San Francisco who's going against one of the worst pass defenses.
He is.
His name's Marquise Goodwin, and he's been playing like a wide receiver 12 every week that he's started.
Yep.
So I think Marquise Goodwin may potentially take Mike Evans' spot, but I'm still praying about it. Okay, so...
That's what you're going to need this week, man. So, let's transition. Let's jump over real quick, and let's update some of these horrific bets that both Charles and I have made. Number 1, the first bet was Charles said that the Jaguars, sorry, I don't know how to speak English. Jaguars will finish second in their division or better.
Word.
Holy freaking cow. And the bet was for a bottle of scotch. Well, it is now mathematically impossible for the Jaguars to finish anything outside of top 2, so congratulations. You bet on Blake Bortles, and I guess good things happen, unless you're a coach, because he gets every single coach fired.
Yeah. I'll take a McGlivitt 50. Just kidding. Okay.
It does not exist. Next one. Again, Luck over Matt Ryan. This was made probably on one of our first podcasts, and this was before all the crazy Andrew Luck news came out. Obviously, he didn't play. And this was for Omaha Steaks. Yay, fun. So happy. I've lost a bottle of scotch and a bunch of steaks.
I'm going to use that at the same exact time, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, screw yourself. Now, let's say this one. This one is not over yet, and this was who would have more fantasy points, Mike Williams or the rookie Zay Jones. Well, this one's not over, but Zay Jones has 66 points on the season, and Mike Williams has 18. So I think I'm going to win that one. I think I'm pretty safe.
I don't know. So what do I got to do?
That is most embarrassing moment on the podcast you will have to share. Really excited about that one. You've got a bunch. Now,
yeah.
The next one. Here we go. Which second-string tight end will score more fantasy points this year? You chose
Dwayne Allen.
Dwayne Allen, which, let's be fair, he had his first catch of the season this week. And who did I take? Oh, man, this weird guy named Hunter Henry. Ooh, he is currently the number 6 fantasy. Is he number 6? Where's he at? Let me backtrack on that one. I want to make sure that I give you guys the up-to-date information. But he has been just stellar. So if we look at overall fantasy points on the year, he comes in at, where is 8. He at? I got number 11.
11. I was just guessing.
But he's going to jump up.
And he's been an inconsistent a-hole this season, though.
He's been on. He's been on lately. Now, so next one, Mike Williams. You decided to double down and say that he would play in over 6 games, and that is why you are referred to as the King in the North, which we have been doing lately.
The North remembers.
The North does remember. Well, it doesn't remember too well because you also bet that the Chiefs would not go 8-8.
Well, they got to win one more game.
That's true. They are 7 and how many weeks have we had? They're 7-6, and they got 3 games left. So now let's get to one more. You said that the Rams would miss the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a bad bet on my part.
Man, I think if they win one more game, that they will be in. They have 8 wins, and it's not going to take much more to get into. And the loser there does 2 Prairie Fire shots. Oh boy, that's going to be a bad day. That's the tequila with Tabasco sauce.
I get mean when I have tequila.
Well, it's just 2 shots. You'll be all right.
Okay.
So that is an update on our bets, and then of course we have the Smirnoff Ice 6-pack. Oh gosh.
Not sponsored by Smirnoff
No, not sponsored. But yeah, that's going to be a bad one.
Man, I feel good about my progress this year, given all the bets. So, how do you feel?
I've definitely lost more. And you have lost the ones that are not of consequence as much.
It's true.
So, we'll see. That's okay. I'm not getting anything out of this year. I'm not getting steaks or scotch or fun things. Only bad things. Only bad things.
Man, can I just ask your opinion before we get out of this thing? I know we cover a lot of fantasy football. You know me, I'm always tempted to talk about the NFL. Give me a prediction of who wins this whole thing, man.
So if we're going to play this game, and if you look at kind of where everything is at, you have to have a solid defense, and you have to have a great quarterback.
Yeah.
So Blake Bortles definitely at the top of the list. Having said that, I'm going out on a limb, and I believe in this guy so stinking much, and they're not even in the playoffs right now. And that's the Los Angeles Chargers. I absolutely love their defense. I think it's one of the best in the NFL. And I love the way that offense is moving right now with Phillip Rivers. And if there's anybody that I would want to root for more, I can't think of anybody. That guy is freaking awesome. So I am going the Chargers. And I would have said the Eagles would be the team that they are going to meet there, but I'm going to go with the Saints because, again, defense with good quarterback play. That is what I'm looking for. And the formula is always the same. And that Saints defense is freaking amazing. They are great.
If that team stays healthy, they're probably I'm going to go ahead and say it. That's going to be who represents the NFC. I would have said Minnesota, but here's the deal. Living in Case Keenum's head, there is this image of a backup quarterback. And
I thought that was going to be a wife slam again. I feel like you've talked more trash against his wife than anybody.
I feel like her and I would be such great friends, but it just bothers me. I don't know. It just bothers me. It shouldn't, but it does. I'm so sorry to you if you ever listen to this. Anyways, it'd be so awkward. Oh my god! All right, man.
Those are my predictions, and we'll see how they go. We'll see how they go.
You threw me off my game with that. I was gonna say that the NFC is gonna be represented by the Saints, and the AFC by the Jaguars.
Jeez, there's no way in hell the Jaguars win this thing.
It'll be the Saints.
Elite defense, though. Elite defense.
I'm kidding around. It won't be the Jaguars. It won't be, okay? It's either going to be the Steelers or the Patriots, and most likely it's going to be the Patriots. And then it'll be Breeze versus Brady, like Alabama versus Auburn. Like, ugh.
I know, that just makes me feel gross.
Right.
Makes me feel gross. Anyway, also the 49ers are my dark horse Super Bowl candidate. They have won 3 out of 4 games and are rising up the ranks very quickly.
Nobody even had to take a moment to be like, maybe? No. Everyone just felt it immediately. Like, this is not true. He's talking about the 49ers.
That's true. They're not going to win. But you know, they're still not
going
to win.
Jimmy Garoppolo is sexy, so you got something to, you know.
We've won 3 out of 4. We've won 3 out of 4.
All right, man. Marquise Goodwin? I don't know. Don't worry. Next week in the 49ers, 5 players will retire under the age of 25.
Okay, and thanks for listening, guys. Take care. Shut up, Charles Barr. And here we go. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.
I'm bitter. Wentz went down.